All right, let's go to our Xfinity fan questions from Madison. I believe we've got 3 locked and loaded, so let's hear our first.
I'm John. I am from Onalaska, Wisconsin. And Todd, do you think Wisconsin will win the Axe game?
Yes, I do think Wisconsin will win the Axe game. I think that win last week was very encouraging for them, very confidence building for them. You know, Braylon Allen being back in the mix, if he can go again, Tanner Mordecai with another game under his belt. And you know, Minnesota, they've got issues on offense. You know, they don't have a complementary offense. I think they play good defense. They can run the football. They don't throw it real well. So I like Wisconsin going in and winning that game.
Would be the 22nd consecutive winning season for the Badgers. They just clinched their 22nd consecutive bowl season with the win last week. All right, let's go to question number 2.
Hi, my name is Jake Garcia, and I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. And my question for Noah is, who do you think will make the college football playoff?
Jake Garcia. We got a full name. I love it. Omaha is in the house. That's a really difficult question to answer because I think there are so many scenarios right now. You've got to believe that the winner of this Michigan-Ohio State game is likely going to win the Big Ten championship. They'll be in. You've got to imagine if Georgia runs the table and beats Alabama, they're a lock. In fact, I think Georgia, in all likelihood, is probably a lock regardless, even if they did lose to Alabama in that SEC championship game, just given what they've done the last 2 years, given the fact that they ran through the SEC undefeated in the regular season. They likely will get in. So at that point, now you probably have 2 SEC teams in with Alabama. If Georgia beats them, Alabama's out. Then you've got to believe that the winner of the Pac-12 championship is going to be in there. And there's an argument you could make for Washington, even if they did lose the Pac-12 championship, to get in there. What happens with Florida State? If they can't continue without Jordan Travis now, if they lose in the ACC championship game to Louisville, they're not going to get in there. So I think there's a lot of situations. Texas still has the outside chance if they were on the table. There are a lot of teams that are hoping. I think it's probably those top 8. So you probably cut it off at where Alabama is. So you've got Alabama, Texas, Oregon, Washington in the current top 4, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, and Florida State. So a lot of situations depending on the as always, the conference championship games. But it does feel like those 8 teams all have legitimate reason to believe that they can win the national championship this year, which is fun.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting here down the stretch because I would agree with you. I think for sure the winner of the Ohio State-Michigan game is in. For sure the winner of the SEC championship game is in. If Oregon and Washington make it there unscathed, the winner of that game is in. So that's 3. Now you've got 1 spot left and a lot of other scenarios to who would get that 4th spot. And so, you know, arguments could be made for a lot of different people, very convincing arguments. And so the committee will have their work cut out for them if it plays out that way.
Florida State feels like the biggest swing to me. And they not only have to win, but it feels like in some ways, certainly this week, if they can win convincingly, and that's not an easy task against Florida, that could go a long way for them. All right, we've got one final question. Let's get to that before we get out of here.
Hi, my name's Michaela, and I'm from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And my question for you is, what's different about Madison this time around?
Michaela. So Madison was fairly similar this time around. The biggest difference was that Wisconsin won the football game. That certainly helped, and the crowd was really into it. Senior night, that was the emotions flowing from there. We did go back to Mickey's, though, and this time we went to Mickey's with the entirety of the crew. And Todd, you got to show off your acting chops a little bit. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun doing that. Did a little segment on Mickey's and comparing it to the Big Ten West. And so it was a lot of fun. Yeah. And the food was delivered again, as usual. So had the scrambler one day, had the liver and onions another day. So it was all good. I would say the other thing that was different, I think it was warmer this time than we were there the first time. We were there at the end, middle of November, and it was balmy and seasonal there in Madison. So I'll take that.
Yeah, I felt like an idiot because I brought my big coat and I'm wearing it around. Yeah, I was wearing it around and I'm like, what? This is fun. This is normal. This is like fall weather. What's going on here? We did get Gotham Bagels. Shout out to Joe Thomas, the Hall of Famer, and his business partner Joey for providing our entire crew with a breakfast on Saturday morning. That was awesome. Ty Guy and I went to go pick them up, and it was a joyous time over there. They were awesome in there. We met another guy named Joe. So we know for a fact there are 3 people associated with the bagel place: Joe, and Joey. Sounds like a ripoff of Ed, and Eddie. So that was good. But yeah, it was. I'm with you. It was deceptively warm, and we had a good time. We stayed at a different hotel as well, so I guess that was different. But otherwise, Madison's great. I'll go there all the time. I love that
Fun place.
And I've heard, I still have so many other places that I want to hit just because I've gotten more recommendation. I still want to go to Dottie. So that'll happen if I do get to Madison at some point during the hoop season.